The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para-X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Step outside of your comfort zone. See the world with a whole new perspective. Join us and experience the unexplained on the Paranormal View.
Welcome everybody right here to the Paranormal View on the Paranormal Radio Network. I want to thank everyone for being with us tonight, those here in the chat room and those listening from around the world. Tonight, if you are somewhere else and not here in the chat room, feel free to come over to ParanormalRadioNetwork.com and click on the chat button and join us all here in the chat room. If anyone in the chat room has questions tonight, you can send them to either Ceiling Cat, myself. I don't see Jeff in there.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, no, yep.
Jeff's not in the chat room, but
Yep.
You can send the questions over to Marla, and she can even jump in and help answer them. So if you got other questions, though, from somewhere else, you can send them to the paranormalview@gmail.com, and we will get those answered also. Let's see. Tonight we have with us Barbara Duncan.
I am here, yes.
And we have Jeffrey Gould.
Hello, hello.
And we have a special guest, and she's one of those that you can ask questions and they'll talk for an hour. So, Jeff, why don't you introduce our guest?
Well, tonight's guest is our longtime friend Marla Brooks, paranormal investigator and author of at least 11 books, 3 on ghosts, 3 on magic, 4 on cooking and television, as well as fictional novels, Bad Case of the Collywobbles, and Soul Connections. On Thursday evenings, Marla hosts Stirring the Cauldron here on Para-X, and while occasionally battling with Witch Hunter Canada geese when she visits Hollywood Forever Cemetery, Marla is always welcome here at Paranormal View. Way, welcome back, Marla Brooks.
Hey, thank you. And you know what? I haven't been back there to see the peacocks lately, but I know they have a white peacock over at the cemetery now.
Oh, now I have to go over there.
And they have cages where they keep them in, too.
Oh, wow.
I need to get over there. Yeah, I miss it.
Well, if you ever do, let me know, and,
Yeah, we can meet up.
They have resident fowls.
Resident
owls?
They have
Fowls.
fowls. Yes, they
yeah.
have. And the geese are quite foul. Yes.
Yeah. Well, yes, we have geese and we have wild turkeys up here.
Oh, wow.
In our cemeteries. And, they get geese, ducks, and turkeys.
Aw.
Occasional deer. Yeah.
See, that's nice. We don't have deer. Well, sometimes deer, but there's possums. Well, there are squirrels at Hollywood Forever. I've seen them.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
But I haven't seen possum because they probably would come out at night. But the wild cats are there, and every so often they get one of the birds. Yeah, that's not good. But, yeah, I miss the place. I need to go back.
Yeah, I have a script I wrote that's literally set in Hollywood Forever Cemetery. I have to go over there just to scope out its location again to make sure my memory works as to how the setup would work. And I have to stop by if it gets funded to find out, how to get a permit and such. Because I know they film there all the time.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
But I'm wondering if they don't mind little independent short films being filmed.
I don't think they, the guy that owns it, he seems to be a really nice guy. In fact, in Collywobbles, I have a whole chapter at the cemetery in my fiction book. Yeah, and it's kind of cool.
So what is it you're writing at the cemetery?
No,
I use the
cemetery in one of my chapters.
Jeff, wait. All right, go ahead, Marla.
No, one of the chapters takes place in the cemetery in my Collywobbles book.
In your book,
okay.
Oh,
no, of course.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, you're just lagging. That's what your problem is. Okay. I guess there's
Uh,
we aren't using it here that I know of. I mean, I don't. But uh, what is the special thing that's going on? Is it just for today or the weekend in out there?
You mean Beltane?
Yeah.
Okay, that was yesterday, and
Oh,
that is the pagan equivalent of May Day, as most people know it. And Beltane is very cool. But it's just it's one day, and the night before Beltane is Walpurg. Well, I can't say it with German very well.
Valpurgis.
Walpurg is
Valpurgis Nacht.
Nacht. Yeah, you got it's one of those. And so yeah, I mean, it's Beltane is kind of like renewal, rebirth. The spring is opening up flowers, and baby animals are being born and stuff. I mean, it's you decorate homes and barns and buildings with like green branches, and you wear garlands and wreaths around your head, and you make May baskets, and you burn sacred woods. 9 woods in the cauldron go, as they say. And Beltane fires, because Beltane is one of the 4 fire festivals in the Wheel of the Year. So they do ritual fires. And beauty tips even. I mean, if you get your head and your hair wet with the dew on plants on Beltane morning, or if it rains on Beltane, it means to bless your head, which is really nice. It's a good time for hand fasting too. People, getting married without, the normal way that everybody else knows about getting married, but with cords and hand fasting. So it's that time, and it's a time of the year like Samhain, just the opposite. The veil is just as thin during Beltane as it is on Samhain. So we can get in touch with ancestors. We can get in touch with the Fae, because this is a very good time for the Fae to pop out and get familiar with that. So it's kind of a really wonderful time of year. It really is.
well now you do readings on your website every day.
Once a week. Yeah.
Oh,
Mondays.
once a week.
It's
Okay.
readings for the whole week. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to know if any of your readings ahead of time, or before, I should say, this corona stuff hit, if any of those had any indications of what was going to happen.
No, because I'm using my Oracle deck, the Witch's Oracle, as opposed to Tarot. And the Witch's, I mean, any Oracle deck is slightly different, but what I have noticed is the cards that I'm pulling, I pull one card on Mondays at random, and it's for the whole week, but it's been really interesting that the cards that I've been pulling have kind of gone along with what we've been doing. There are cards that have said, take, this is the best time to take care of your health, watch yourself, or, just every week the cards come up with something that is in relation to what's going on in our world right now, which kind of floors me. But there was no precognition, because I don't really pull them ahead of time anyway. I mean, I pull them, every Monday I pull a card and that. But it just, let me just look and see something. I'm just going to go for 1 second to see what card came up for this week. Okay, well, the crystal ball card came up, and when that card comes up, it kind of indicates the necessity to find out information that can't be seen by the naked eye, and everybody's trying to find out how to stay healthy and stuff. And the card represents a necessity to find the answers that have been bothering you for lately, things that you need to do in regards not only for now, but for the future. So that kind of ties in. So yeah, I mean, every card just kind of seems to work. And if anybody, they're free. Let's tell everybody that's listening. The reading is free, and just go over there to marlabrooks.com. It's on the front page, on the home page, and scroll down and get your reading for the week. And then people are saying, well, how is it that this card is for me? It's speaking to me. Well, the way I work it out, and my logic is, if you weren't meant to see it, you wouldn't. There are a lot of people that know I put the things up there every week, and a lot of people don't go. But the ones that do, that means that that message is for them, and they can interpret it, to fit their personalities and whatever else is going on in their lives. So yeah, I mean, it's true. If you don't care, you're not going to look. But if you care, that means there is interest, and if there is interest, that means that card pertains to you in some way. So yeah,
Okay. Barbara?
convoluted logic, but to me it works fine.
You mentioned about the fire festivals in this, and I'm wondering, is it the same thing as the veil like we have at Halloween, and is it just as thin at Beltane as it is, say, around All Hallows Eve?
Yeah, it is just as thin. And what I was getting, because I was listening carefully to my guest this week who wrote the book, and I think you were in chat room, The Sacred Herbs of Spring, and it's all about Beltane and stuff. And when she was talking about the fires, and this is kind of what I knew too, it's not the fire as such, it's the smoke. Like they used to in the old days run cattle through the smoke to cleanse them for the new year kind of thing. And this is what she was talking about. So it's not like the bonfires at some seasons, when they're dancing around they do dance around the bonfire too. But here, like they'll jump over the flame. This is good. Jack be nimble. I think that's where that came from. Jack be quick, and you better jump high. Yeah. But I think it has to do with the smoke and smoke being cleansing. I didn't really look into it, and I probably should have. But but it's very traditional. I mean, that goes back to ancient Celtic times when they would drive the cattle through the smoke and everything. And so they just continue it now. And then with the 9 woods, the particular woods that they use for Beltane is kind of cool.
So this is very similar to, say, the Catholic ritual of the incense burning and the smoke going across them. It's a purification.
That's how I see it. Yeah. Because if you look around at things that people do at certain times of year and everything, there's always going to be a similarity to another religion or another belief system. I mean, okay, we're all foodies. Let's talk about food, okay? Every culture has something that's like a ravioli. You have pierogies in Poland, you have ravioli in Italy, you have wontons in China, you have kreplach in Jewish tradition. See, I'm good at that here. But see, it's like there's the same thing. It's just a little bit different. Some of the doughs are boiled. Some of the doughs are fried. Some of the doughs are, whatever. So it's kind of the same thing with traditions, I believe, with fire traditions or anything else. People take it and they get the basis, and then they make it work for them.
Now, the issues of the 9 different woods.
Mm-hmm.
And each one has its own strength and power to it, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So when you blend them all together, it's, I guess, for the whole year, it's like a purification ceremony or a strengthening ceremony for the entire year.
Yeah, because I think it probably covers all bases, because as you said, each wood has its own special talent or whatever you want to call it. And so when you blend it all together, it's like a nice mirepoix of goodness, Mm-hmm. And it all works out together. They all kind of mesh together, I think, and I think the strength comes from there.
Now, it's a little after, I would assume that they've already plowed the fields, so this is kind of the break in between for growth.
I would think, because, the new growth is coming up, like with flowers. And look in people's gardens now, lots of blooms, lots of buds, this is when the earth wakes up from the winter. And it's, this is kind of the place where it just gets perfectly thought out now and things are blooming.
Okay.
Yeah. And little baby animals are being born and stuff. So it's a birth and renewal and regeneration kind of thing.
Oh. Now, about that maypole thing.
Oh, yes, that maypole thing. And we're not going to talk about Tim's maypole dancing, are we?
No.
Thank you.
No.
Good. Because
I don't need that visual. No.
didn't want to go there.